The enemy loves to see us bogged down in minutia rather than beholding the big picture. We tend to forget that there is an ultimate objective when we encounter the obstacles scattered en route thereto. I can only imagine the inclination of those brave young men of the Allied Expeditionary Forces to cling to the hedgehogs and other beach obstacles that littered the Normandy coastline on the ominous morn of June 6, 1944. These welded scraps of metal seemed the only potential bastion between them and annihilation. And yet the obstacles themselves served to bunch and bog down clumps of soldiers, providing ample targets of opportunity. And so, against all instinct, those men braved not only these obstacles, but invisible walls of lead and shot that lay between them and their objective. But the liberation was not an immediate result. Those young men who made it off the beach were focused first on the coast, then on the shingle, then on the Normandy cliffs, then on the hedgerows, then on each enemy stronghold until finally the finish line. Victory was achieved, but there was indeed a cost as evidenced by the marble and granite sentinels bearing the names of heroes that gave the cause of righteousness their last full measure of devotion. I use this illustration not to make common their sacrifice, quite the contrary. We honor them, yet we can see spiritual parallels herein. We have many varying objectives along our route to glory. We're offered abundant life here and hereafter, and yet many a saint is bogged down behind the obstacles that we ought to be achieving mastery over and be strengthened thereby for the next to come. Too often we sit down as victims, wearied by the ineffectiveness of our own efforts with one foot in the world and a toe or two in the realms of glory. Many will say, "This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what the preacher man spoke of when I went forward at the altar call." Too many are neither acquainted with the concept or undertaking of the fellowship of Christ's sufferings. And so many grow embittered or disillusioned with God amidst the prospect of hardships, not understanding that they are not only a possibility nor probability, but a surety with inherent purpose. And so many an overcomer is not overcoming. Many a saint is trapped in the snare of the enemy, wriggling about for a bit until exhaustion reclaims the few remaining bits of tenacity and resistance. We must gain an accurate depiction of sanctification's path and commit ourselves to negotiate every terrain and trial that lay along its paths without compromise. The men of the 29th Division went from ship to shore, to shingle to stronghold before the goal was achieved, and it came at tremendous cost. So too did our Lord Jesus leave his throne in glory to dwell among us. He bore scourging and mockery and torment and even death. Was it worth it? I imagine the French folks who'd spent a fair time under Nazi occupation would say so in reverence to those who gave all for their liberation. Likewise, every hopeless sinner and prodigal who will one day step across the threshold of glory will forever say so. But in all cases, triumph came not without trial and tempest. As such, it is high time that we own the identity attributed to us as children of the Almighty, as well as heirs and enlistees of the King. It is high time that we rise up from the shadows of our obstacles, cast off the mire of defeat and complacency, and walk with blessed confidence upon the path of God's providence. Indeed, it will cost to walk in the fullness of fellowship with Christ, but he will walk with us, and the end is unending glory.